Hey everyone, welcome back to Mom, You're Embarrassing Me. I'm Jordan Wick.
And I'm Michele Spahr. Today we're kicking off our Pickleball Pro interviews with the one and only John Sperling.
Woo! Thank you all for having me.
Welcome. Thank you. It's so great to see you again.
Thank you so much. I'm excited to be here.
Awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to kick it off. We're going to actually make you do your elevator pitch real quick to just give us kind of a 30-second of who you are so the people who are listening can get to know you better.
Perfect. All right. My name is John Sperling. I'm from the Villages in Florida. I've been playing professional pickleball since 2018. I've been teaching pickleball since the same time, and I have, like everybody else, found my love and my passion through this amazing sport of pickleball. So that is who I am in a nutshell.
Well, we are excited to have you. And I mean, I think you're also being very modest too, because you have a lot of, have you counted all your gold medals? Do you know the number?
No.
How about this? Does it take up more than one moving packing box?
Yes.
Wow. That is amazing. As the better you get at pickleball, the higher level you get, your medals get heavier and bigger. So you're like, ours are still small and plastic.
Where's the
happens.
participation awards?
Yeah. So we could probably fill up a packing box too, but it's just, everyone participation awards. That's right. So
exactly.
Yeah, it's they get a little bit bigger, they get a little bit heavier, but it's still just a medal that you're all trying to fight for. So it's
Exactly. Well, you probably win money at this point. You're probably pulling in the big bucks. We're still over here like, oh, I'm just losing all my money towards pickleball. It's an expensive sport. That's for sure.
We won $150 at an open tournament recently. So yeah, we kind of get every now and then.
I mean, that's almost borderline pro.
That's what they told us.
They're like, wow, you guys should just go up to the next level at this point.
They said if you go to the Villages, you could totally be pro. I mean, look at John.
Listen, I don't know. There's a lot of great pickleballers in the Villages. So we gotta be careful.
I don't doubt it. I know you guys do really well at tournaments.
They do. They seem to clean up quite well in the population.
Yeah, that's impressive.
When did you move down to the Villages?
I moved to the Villages when I was like 47. My mom was here, and I thought, what better way to spend more time with your mom than to move close to the Villages? And so I did it, and I would not regret it one single bit. It has been absolutely a joy to be here, and I love it.
That's awesome.
That's awesome. Well, before we get into, we have a lot of questions for you, both from us and also we have fans that contributed questions. But the first question we have to ask you, this is the most important. We're going to ask you the entire time. We're getting it right out of the way here. So if you would have come here in studio, we only have 2 chairs. And so, every guest has to pick and choose which lap they would want to sit on. So whose lap, if you were here in studio, whose lap would you sit on? Hers or mine? Go.
Well, I would say Michele's, just because I know her. And so it would be, we're more comfortable with each other. Yes.
Yeah. You're just like a dirty old man if you sit on her lap.
Correct. You are correct.
Well, good. Well, I'm winning.
You are. Everyone chooses her for some reason. I'm like, hey, okay, fine.
I think she hit the nail on the head. I think it would have been. It could have gone a little weird way. So
people are scared of her, though. That's why
they're like, oh gosh. Well, I guess that was the most important question. But we want to get to know you a little bit more, and kind of just throw out some questions there. Some are going to be silly. Some are going to be more in depth. So. We'll get it started with, okay, so I know you play a lot of men's, but if you could play one event for the rest of your life, mixed or men's, which would it be?
Good question. I'm going to say men's just because that's what we train all the time for. As much as I love playing mixed, my partner who I regularly play with, her name is Cammie McGregor. She's from San Diego. She doesn't play as much anymore. And so, you kind of, it's almost like you have to find a new best friend to play with. So men's, you just kind of bounce around. So I would have to say men's if I had to pick one.
That makes sense.
Yeah, It's a tough question because I feel like right now I don't have like a set partner for either women's or mixed. So it's a lot of bouncing around for me. But if I had a steady partner in both mixed and women's, I would probably prefer women's for sure. But it's just a totally different game because mixed, I'm just getting targeted and they just pick on me. So
I would say that's true. What about you, Michele? Which one would you pick?
Oh, I know. Probably women's as well. Although I really, really enjoy mixed. And I'll tell you, after I did that camp with you, with Sean and that crew, I really enjoyed mixed after that because you gave some great pointers and some things like where I needed to be and how to be the best partner for my mixed partner. I got a lot out of that. So yeah. And I was telling Jordan, I definitely learned more with you than I have with at any other clinic or camp. And I
Well, I
came back and I was telling her
appreciate
things.
that. It's
Yeah.
I love to share the joy of pickleball.
Yeah. Well, I'm only actually saying that because you're here on camera.
I figured that was the second thing we were going to get to.
No. And the other thing I said about your coaching is that you are, it's tough love with you.
Yes.
Which I appreciated as well. So as soon as I did something I knew wasn't supposed to do, he would be, you don't even think he's watching. And then all of a sudden from like 3 courts over, he's like, quit, backing up on your drop or whatever it is. Get your footwork. I'm like,
I had it the other day. I was teaching a group of men, and my language to them is different than my assistant who's right next to me telling everyone, "Oh my God, it's so good! You're doing so good, amazing!" And they all stopped their lesson. They looked over. They go, "How come you never talk to us like that?" Maybe you got the wrong guy. You should go over there.
Yeah.
I'm a little bit of the tough love. That is absolutely true.
I think it's good. We all need it because our partners sometimes we're too nice to each other.
Except for me and her. We're not.
Oh my gosh, we're not nice.
We can't play it together anymore.
No.
After the U.S. Open, we're like that was it.
That's it. That was our. We'll stick to opposite courts at this point.
Yeah.
Okay, though. Sometimes it's better to have her as a fan rather than a partner.
There we go.
Yes.
That's right. We're backup partners for each other.
Yes.
I like it. I like it.
Okay. What do you prefer to train in the morning, like early morning grinding it, or late night, before bed, going out there and getting training?
I am definitely early morning.
You are.
I like to get out there way early. Love to hit early. We have a couple of guys who are a little late getting up, so it's hard to get them out in the morning. But I would prefer as early in the morning as you can. Because here it's 107 already with the feel like temperature.
Oh yeah, you guys with your weather, you got to get it done in the morning.
Hot.
Yeah. That was the hardest part of Naples going down to play was the heat because, well, Virginia, we have some pretty humid days with hot temperatures, but not beating out in the sun on the court. I was like, holy moly, this is terrible. But yeah, I can only imagine.
You bring the heat and the humidity, so you're going to get 80, 88 degrees and 95% humidity. You walk out, you just start sweating. So it's a different thing, but
yeah. That's why you guys like to hold all your tournaments down there because you Floridians are going to kick our asses.
If it's 60 degrees, I have a little beanie on and gloves. I'm terrible up there. So.
All right. So is it true that you haven't called a coin toss?
Yeah, it's absolutely true. I call coin tosses.
I watched a video of you and someone was about to ask you to call it and you're like, I haven't called it. And I was like, he's never called a coin toss?
I don't. It's a superstition. Before pickleball and before tennis, I was a hockey player. And we are probably the most superstitious
crew
people on so it's just something I've never done. I've never been a part of it. And when it comes time, they all look at me and I'm like, no. I pass over to my partner, and then they make the decision. It's much easier that way.
Yeah,
it just became something that really just turned into something more. So
then you have someone to blame.
Exactly.
Well,
all right,
gamble
out there. Mom, you're embarrassing me. Podcast just figured out the real reason why John Sperling does not like to call it the coin.
Don't tell anyone that I played partners with. So our secret right here.
Right. Actually, none of those people are watching us anyway, so you're good.
I'm good. I like it. I like it.
This will be a little secret.
You know what? You can talk about them all you want.
And we won't say a thing.
Yeah. Don't worry about it. Yeah, that's our future questions here we got coming.
I like that. I like that.
Alrighty. So we're going to move on to kind of getting to know all of your accomplishments and things like that. So we are going to move on to
all of them. This might take a
whole hour.
So let's just break it down. We already talked about the gold medals.
Yeah, you definitely.
All right, we're good there.
So what do you do with like this? If you win silver and bronze, do you keep those medals too? Or are you kind of just like, it doesn't count?
I would tell you they all go in a box.
So it doesn't matter.
There's very few that I have out, and those are the majors, Tournament of Champions, U.S. Open, the bigger ones I may have out. I won the Triple Crown one time at Hilton Head. I maybe have those displayed somewhere, but other than that, they're all in a box.
Yeah.
I take the ribbons off and give them to the children's hospitals.
Do you really? Oh, what a great idea.
The kids love them. So
that is a great idea.
Yeah, that is super cool.
I've got like a box of volleyball medals that I just have sitting there.
Yeah.
I like that.
100%. Yep. They repurpose them. They can use them. So it's fantastic.
Good. To all you pickleball players out there, the only people that are watching are the winning pickleball players.
Yeah.
So now you have something to do with all those medal ribbons. I love that.
Yep.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah. That was very good.
And then, so of all of those medals, which one stands out and is the most meaningful to you?
I would say the Tournament of Champions. That was my first major. Out of all the big ones, that was the first one. And it's just it was just one of those magical things. It was the field was as deep as we've ever had it. And I was playing with a blind date, first timer, really. It was playing with a guy, Richie Lopez, out of Texas. And we struggled a little bit, and we ended up having an amazing day, and we ended up winning the Tournament of Champions. And
with a blind date,
come back next year and have your faces on the banner, and it was really cool.
That's
kind of been probably one of the most memorable ones. And then winning the U.S. Open is always good. I won that one with Leah Jansen, so that was a fun one. So just those are the more memorable ones. Kind of funny because when it first came out, it was we got the number 2 seed, and I called her and I said, "Hey, look what you did to us." And she's like, "It wasn't me, it was you." and so we went through again another great field, everyone there. So what a fun thing to do. And then now that they've kind of separated with the tours, you don't get to see those kids anymore, and it's a tough one. But
so when do you have opportunities to see and play with them?
Not much anymore. It's over we don't play a lot of, at least I don't play a lot of the PPAs,
right?
Just because I don't think they treated the seniors well during my time when I was playing it. So I don't get to see them as often, and they're not playing the APP anymore.
Right.
So
right.
I think the last time was at Dallas when we had the Nationals. We all kind of came together, which was kind of fun seeing all the young kids.
Yeah. Well, that's good. I mean, you have those relationships will always be there, and when they get old, then they can come out with you, and you'll
absolutely give them time. They'll all get there. And listen, good for all of them. They're all doing fantastic.
Yeah,
I'm glad to see the growth of the pickleball, and so
it's truth. Did you see that Nasty Nelson at the U.S. Open? This last U.S. Open, 10-4,
the match point one.
Yes, and she said, "Vamos!" Right. Well, I interviewed her. I had her on like a few days ago, last week, and interviewed her. And so we were like, we need to ask all of our guests this. So we wanted to hear what you think of the Nasty Nelson. What are your...
It's not for me. I'm not that player. I have actually hit somebody on accident one time. I did it earlier this year. We were playing in Fort Lauderdale, and the winds were 30 miles an hour, and I hit somebody with a serve.
Oh, no.
It was just such a bad serve, and I hit him. And it was my first one ever, so it was not planned. It was not meant to be a Nasty Nelson, but it turned into one.
And it wasn't game point, though, was it, of the gold medal match?
No, it was not.
Kind of exciting then.
You didn't give a good fist pump on that.
No, I apologized profusely. He was a nice guy out of Jacksonville, and I was like, I felt like an idiot. First of all, how bad of a serve did I hit that I hit him? So
so what about in rec though? Will you do it in rec?
I won't. No, that's not really my thing.
Okay.
I know people do it. It's
Yeah.
not even messing around with people. I don't get on the court as much as I would like to, so rec play
Yeah.
for me is really time that I work on my game.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I would love to tell you I do it. You know, not
She
even feeling
loves to do it.
I do because I do play a lot of rec games, John.
it.
I
Of
actually
course.
have a good time playing rec games with my friends, and we do
Okay.
like the nasty Nelson.
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I think that was the most classic match point move ever.
Now, I
Um,
would never do it in a tournament,
Me either.
for the record, or any match that was going to go on Duper or was going to be, this. If it's just purely rec games, I will do it, but
And
I
not
would not
against
do it in a
someone that
tournament.
you don't know. I would never do it to a random opponent. I feel like I would be like, I'm so sorry. I wish my serve went out.
so you have to
Yeah.
tell me the backstory. I know that the other people, the one who got hit, their crowd was a little rambunctious, which the story was that that's why she did it.
So she told me why she did it was because they were targeting her opponent. She didn't mention the crowd at all, actually. They were not her opponent, targeting her partner. Like I guess the entire match, which she says, which is strategy. She was like, so, I
Good for
appreciate
them.
that was their strategy was to go after my partner. And so she said her strategy was to nasty Nelson on a game point. And she also said that she was standing pretty tight to the line the whole time. And I did notice that she was pretty close to the lines. But I wouldn't do it. But
If they were targeting my partner, I would probably get a little bit mad. I feel like I'm a pretty aggressive player, so for me, it's like when they either like target my partner or they targeting me, I get pretty heated up in my head. I'm like, why are they doing this to me? I was playing in a tournament yesterday and they targeted me the whole time, and I was like, I just looked over at them. I was like, this is comical. Thank you guys. Like, keep hitting it to me, but I know that's the point of the game, and so if it works, it works.
now, keep in mind, Jordan has a 4-6 duper. She's not just going and playing.
Right.
So it's tough balls coming, and she does a great job. She hasn't been playing seriously for a long time, and you'll see her. She'll do well. She'll be doing well. But so in mixed, when you play mixed, kind of to Jordan's point, you're probably targeting the woman as you should, and how frustrating is it when they're able to target your partner and where they're not giving you a lot of options to come in and poach, where maybe they're just,
Yeah,
successful.
that's the game of mix, right? I
Yeah.
mean, one who can bully the other opponent, usually female.
Mhm.
Sometimes it's different. It just
Yeah.
depends on where you're at.
Andre
Um,
Agassi and Annalie Waters, for example.
correct, right? They can bully him. But the reality of that is when you find a partner who can handle it and can bully a little bit back, is when you start making those bigger strides. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. Whenever I play with somebody that's new, I said, don't let them bully you. At some point, obviously that's the goal. So for anyone who's playing mix, I'd say learn to stand your ground a little bit and learn to stop getting hit and then deliver a couple hits, and
Yeah.
it'll change the dynamics of the game if you're even successful 1 out of 3. It
Yeah.
changes it. So Jordan, when they come at you, just don't be afraid to just turn on it and just rip it. Who cares?
Yeah, and you know what? I'm usually like that, but yesterday I don't know what was going on in my head, but they got in my head. And so then it was all mental, like, oh, now I know they're targeting me and I hit it in the net. I was like, I never missed this ball. So, but I did start playing more aggressive. And my partner started targeting the woman too, which helped a bit, but it's frustrating too when they're good enough to place the ball where your partner can't poach it. So they're pushing you so out of whack that it's like he can't physically poach it when they're targeting me that hard. So
And they just go right behind him anyways.
yeah. But
When you do it, make sure you hit it hard down the line,
yes.
because at least when he can redirect it to your partner, or at least your counter is going to be better.
Yes.
So
Yeah, I did get him a few times down the line, and I was like, why didn't I do this in the beginning of the game?
well, I think when people get into that mindset, the fear is they want to get the ball away from him, so they push it to what they think is the safe zone,
Yep.
which is what the guy wants you to do. So he's coming along and smacking a big forehand.
Yep.
But if you go behind him, you
Yeah.
usually catch him a few times. So
Just wait, everyone. I'm coming for your line now.
You're taking, and you can give all the credit to John.
Yes, I will. They're like, wait, how did you know that? On?
Yeah, they're like, wait,
rip it down that line and deal with it. They can't handle it, so you'll be all right with it.
Yeah. So, all right. So we wanted to hear a little bit about Pickle and Poker. And I think that when I texted you, I was like, that's a little naughty. Should I really be Googling Pickle and Poker?
You're right. You're right. Pickle and Poker is we are a full service pari-mutuel. So in Florida, it's not a typical casino. It's a table style Vegas games and poker, basically, is what we have. And in the old rules of Florida, you would either have to have high lie, horse racing, or dog track to have a pari-mutuel. So we used to run horse races, whatever their schedule was. When the laws changed, we had all this free land, and my owner, being an ex tennis guy who also likes pickleball, called me up and said, "John, what do you think if we put pickleball in?" And I said, "I think it would be an absolutely wonderful idea." And so that was the start of us building our pickleball courts. So now it's just we have a huge tiki bar with 50 TVs. So you have sports, you have um, the casino behind it. We have a full service bar. We have a full service restaurant. So it really just added a chicken and pickle without the all the little stuff from chicken and pickles.
Yeah.
That's neat. Yeah, it's really neat.
I saw the pictures and I was like, I'm heading that way. I'm going south. I'm going south.
It is pretty cool. It is pretty cool. We are the only lit courts in the villages, so in the villages there are no lighted courts. It's
Really?
just, it's one of their rules.
Okay.
So we are a stone's throw away from the villages,
Mhm.
and we are open all night.
Wow.
We're open 24 hours, so
yeah.
so
Wow.
you can.
So you guys are getting a lot of people coming in there at 8:30.
Sometimes, yeah.
During the
Sometimes the dealers will go play at 3 in the morning when they're off. It's kind of
right. Oh, that's so cool.
It's kind of a unique thing, but yeah,
Yeah.
it's really cool. So hopefully it's taken off, and maybe our ultimate goal is to build some more courts,
Yep.
and develop into having a few tournaments. We've had a couple of the other casinos come up to look at us, and maybe we could just do this as a little expansion down to
There you go.
Naples or
Yeah.
Fort Lauderdale. So yeah, something kind of cool. Yep.
Yeah. West Virginia is not, we're right over here, a stone's throw from West Virginia, and they have casinos. And so, yeah, that's come up our way.
It's always something neat to add. I mean, it brings
Yeah.
a new element to everybody. So
Yeah.
And it gives everyone an excuse. You're working out. You're working for your drink too.
Absolutely.
Do you is it 8 courts?
6 courts right now. 6 courts.
Okay.
6 courts. And obviously, as you think, most of our busiest times are in the evenings. In the villages, all the pickleball is free, so we don't get a lot of traffic in the mornings, but in the evenings it's quite busy.
Can I go play?
Yeah, how old do you have to be then?
In the villages, you have to have a guest or be there for somebody. You could get a guest pass, but in ours, it's no age limit. We are typical. We have 15-year-old to 55-year-old, no age.
We love the concept. When we come down there, we'd love to.
Yeah. You just need to come to it. You just have to come and experience it in person. It really is. We have the most amazing sunsets. It's just all this open land. You see the amazing sunset, playing pickleball. It's fantastic.
All right, we're making a trip.
I'm coming down.
It's a good energy, and bring some money to gamble because we got gambling.
Okay, and we can take a clinic with you.
Yeah. Oh my gosh!
While we're there,
okay.
That would be great.
Win for all of us. It's definitely a win for you to have us two there.
Absolutely.
Okay, so you are back with Naples JBB United?
Yeah.
And you guys had your first tournament recently?
We had our first weekend. It was in Columbus.
Yep.
It didn't have the best weekend, but we're all learning. Everyone, the hard thing about the NPL is that you're only with each other for a short time. So building that camaraderie is very difficult. Now we have a great team, and I even from the first weekend we could see some gelling happen
Mhm.
and some pairings that look pretty good. So I think we're going to have a fun team. Obviously, we have Jaime Unseen's on our team, who is always a pleasure to be with.
Uh-huh.
I mean, it's tough carrying him the whole time. You know how that
Yeah,
goes.
I was going to ask you about that. How heavy he is.
He's a big load to carry. I know he is absolutely not. He is so much fun, and I enjoy playing. And I've been friends with him for so many years, so being on the same side with him is it's a little tough because you're like, man, he's amazing. You just want to watch him because he's so fluid, and you
Yeah.
know when I think I'm fluid, and I'm looking at him going, nope, maybe he is so precise and meticulous about what he does. It's fabulous.
Uh,
We got Mary Helen Atkins, Chris Cargis, and just a whole new team. But we
yeah.
have a great unit. So,
So
and
how
our
many?
owner Bob Stroman is fantastic.
That's great. Yeah. Okay.
I think what the NPL is going to start to do is build some camaraderie and not have
Hmm.
it split up which I think the knock on the league is it jumps around too much, and if you could build your fan base and build some sort of unity with a team, I
Right.
think you're going to have more
Yeah.
fan support.
Yeah.
Um,
What I had heard from people that play, yeah, you didn't really have the opportunities or the time to really get to know your team as
right.
much as you would want to.
No, and I think and our owner does an amazing job, and he kind of helps facilitate that. But
Hmm.
you got 6 weeks, and other than us meeting outside of that, and I think we all are scattered everywhere, so
Yes.
doing that's not very easy.
Right.
Um, but yeah, I mean, I mean, the league still has its trials and tribulations, but I think you see some better things every year. They've changed the schedule of play to accommodate us, so
Hmm.
there are some better things going on.
Well, that's good. Good.
Um, the hard part about it is it's all different pickleball.
Yeah.
It's indoors, Selkirk ball.
Yeah.
Um, I mean, you can't. Nobody spelled dink, let alone hit one. I mean, it was grip it and rip it pickleball. So
Really?
yeah, it was a
Wow.
little different. I mean,
Wow.
the paddles are hot, the ball
Right.
is hard.
So,
It's
yeah.
the lighting. Unfortunately, where we were at, it has some lighting issues where it's hard to see.
Hmm.
So a lot of people got hit with a lot of pickleballs that weekend.
Are they going to do are all the tournaments indoors?
Yes. Yeah.
Okay,
They do at
interesting.
different venues, so it's
Right. I saw
hopefully they
that.
change it. Yeah, and this one we knew it from last year had a little bit of a lighting issue. It is what it is. It's the same for both, so
So they
it's
won't
not
come to
an
Pickle
issue.
and Poker?
Not yet. We have to get a cover before they can come there. Listen, I'm working. I would like it. I would
Yeah.
like it. And
Okay.
it's different this year because there's fewer teams. Like there was a team over in LA, or 6 teams were in LA, and the other 6 were in Columbus. And
Mm-hmm.
so when they split it, we'll have mixers of teams. So it's kind of neat. And I don't only think we're all together for a couple times. So
Gotcha.
it's a
Gotcha.
it's a different experience this year,
Yeah.
but still, I like it.
They're working. I mean, you guys are, it's fairly new. So,
It's 3 years in, and they're still
right.
they're still growing, and I mean, I think they'll end up having growing pains for quite a bit. But Beth and Rick and Michael, the owners, have always done a good job of steering the league in the right direction.
I went last year to where they did in Naples during the US Open, where they did the announcements where they, people drafted their teams or
Yeah.
the draft announcement, I guess it was. So that was it was very fun to watch. And so one of my questions for you as far as like training so my goal is to try out for NPL or for the Legends league that just started. I don't know if you've heard about that, but
What's the
um,
Legends League?
led. It's you'll hear more about it coming up, but it's similar to the NPL style. It's for players
Oh,
that are 50
we got
plus.
a rival league.
Yes, they've got 12 teams.
Wow.
I know, right? 12 teams
Okay.
and I think they're coast to coast right now, but they've got one in the Villages that's you'll be hearing about soon. One in Naples, one in New Jersey, another one in I think South Carolina or North Carolina, a couple in Virginia, and then one what day is it today? Because I'm not allowed to announce anything yet until it's on public.
26.
You
And then
gossip.
that's further. That's
Send me a
not
text.
one of those places.
You better send me a text. You better send me a text with some info.
I will. Oh, look at me. I got spilling the tea with John Sperling right now.
I love a little gossip.
You want to know about anything, you just give me a call.
So the Legends League, what is it? Is it a senior?
Yeah. And we have the combine is coming up in I think July or August.
It sounds like you're invested in this at all.
I'm coming out. I'm going out or I signed up for the combine, so I'm going to try.
You're invested in this. Are you a team owner?
I am not. I was asked to be a team owner. I was going to do it with someone, but I just figured I would rather do my podcast with my darling daughter and teach a little pickleball and then try to get better so I can come and play against you in the somewhere.
Have league against league. I like it.
That's right. Yeah. That's right. And I don't know that. I mean, chances are I'm not even going to make a team over there. So then I'll be trying out for MPL.
Why do you think you won't make? Why don't you think you won't make a team?
No, you're right. I need to change my attitude. I need to be, manifesting my destiny.
They'd be happy to take you. They'd be foolish not to take you.
I am going to come down. We're going to do a couple days with John.
Yes.
And then we're both going to be pros.
Yes.
I like it. Absolutely.
By splitting.
No pressure for you. We're going to tell everybody you're our coach. And if you don't get us going pro soon, then we're going to blame you. Right?
I take good and bad.
That's right. You can. All right. We'll take the good and no. So, but that as far, I am obviously going to be trying out for these older people leagues, right? Yeah. And so, but right now I find a lot of tournaments, especially when I play with Jordan or we went to the US Open, I'm always having to play under my age bracket. Yeah. And so my question is when I'm competing with and against the babies, like the two women that won 5-0 and the 14 to 29-year-old, they were the first people we played, right? And you add up their ages and it is still younger than me. Yeah. So how do we compete? How do I compete with these youngins?
I think it's usually a different style game, obviously. Mm-hmm. But you'd be surprised on how similar they're becoming. Even at the senior level, other than when you're indoors, it's fast. Mm-hmm. So I think training with the younger players is probably a benefit.
It is, yeah, it is.
Because you're going to be used to it all the time. Mm-hmm. It's always easy to draw back from your power, but it's hard to kind of initiate it. So if you're in a game where you're always having to fight, mm-hmm. I think it's better to have that and then be able to pull away from it. I don't know. Is the Legend League going to be indoors or outdoors?
I think it. Oh gosh, I think it's both. I think they might have both. I
think the benefit of outdoors is that there's a neutralizing element with the weather. Mm-hmm. Indoors, it's stagnant, and so it's not always the best pickleball. It's who's just going to rip the ball and get some sort of benefit. So I still think you should still be aggressive and still mm-hmm. work on aggressive games. That's mm-hmm. kind of where the game is going.
Yeah. And that's the one thing I need to work on. I am like queen of resets and queen of defense, but I'm, I usually let my partner, clean up my mess.
Sometimes the reset game is dying. I hate to say that as an instructor, but it is.
I know. I got to change my game.
I think if given a choice, I would want to slow it down. However, they're not allowing you. And so either you have to fight or get run over.
All right, I'm going to fight. Yeah. I'm fighting, John. Then we're fighting words.
I feel like I have the aggressive component, mm-hmm. but it's the strategic that I struggle with. So when I play against older people, they know where to place the ball because I'm not there. Yeah. But if they hit it where I am, I feel like I can put the ball away, but it's more of like
hit it where they ain't.
That's the part of pickleball I need to work on is I don't have to hit the ball hard every single time, which I catch myself doing that sometimes. And I'm like, you didn't need to do that. That was not necessary. But yeah, playing with young people, I feel like that's my strong suit is like
Hands
I'll get in a
battles
hands battle or,
Yep.
but put me with an older person, they're going to beat me 9 out of 10 times. I'm like, dang it.
But if you think about it, if you just go right through them, it doesn't.
Yeah.
I mean,
Doesn't
it's not
feel good.
easy.
Yeah.
And it's the same thing I would tell you, Michelle. I said sometimes don't worry about thinking and around them, just go through them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah.
There's a different element to the game that we're playing now, and so it's a
Mhm.
little bit more aggressive than
Yeah.
norm. So
And use their own power against them
yeah.
or their own speed and their own. Yeah.
Yeah. So have you had to change your teaching ways based on how the game is developing? Like, do you teach new strategies? Like, how often are you switching your strategic teaching to your players? And is it different with like older people versus younger people? Or are you teaching like one generic strategy to
I
all?
think one thing, and it obviously you have different expectations for certain skill levels. I am very blessed that most of my students are at a higher level,
Mm-hmm.
so it's more of coaching than teaching, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
But absolutely, I think the game of pickleball has evolved so fast,
Mm-hmm.
and the thought of teaching has not. Right? It's one is going so far, and the other is just barely. The teaching just it's not catching up. So
Mm-hmm.
I think I teach somewhere in that elevated status where hey, this is what I see the patterns that are going on, the trends that we go with,
Mm-hmm.
and try to get ahead of the curve rather than, still the old status quo of, hey, you got to drop every ball and you got to do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it's, first strike takes them out,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it's a different, so absolutely, I think my style has changed over the years and it keeps evolving, right? If
Yeah.
you, if you did a camp with me a year ago and you would go, who is this guy I'm talking to now? Because now it's, hey, hit them before they hit you. It used to be like, slow them down, take
Yeah.
it easy. Now it's like,
Ooh, I can't wait to go now. I'm really
She's
you're
like,
gonna
excited.
rip it.
Someone can
everything.
teach me how to how to be more aggressive. I like
Teach
it.
you how to get in a fight and win
Yeah.
those fights.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. And run away.
absolutely.
And so I'm not a very big fan of drilling, which I'm really trying to work on because I feel like for me to jump to that next level, I need to practice more. So, do you have any tips for me for giving me some motivation to drill? Because for me, I'm just like, well, if I'm spending time playing pickleball, I want to just play rec games. I don't want to take the time to drill. But after going to the US Open, I'm like, okay, how are these people so good? Do I need to drill? Do I need to?
So I would tell you, I don't think you need to drill a ton. However, it does. Um, I think there's a great book, The Rule of 100. Have you ever read or heard about that book? So it talks
Mm-mm.
about um, if you do something for 18 minutes a day for a year, you'll be better than 90% of the people who do it. 18 minutes, not a lot of drilling. I don't think you have to drill 18 minutes every day. However, if you do something of that nature that kind of puts you at that next elevated status, then you're going to see some huge gains right away. For me personally, I don't drill a lot just because I don't have the time, but I do work on my game when I do my rec play. So I am using that as a drill. So when I play a rec game, I don't care if I win or lose, but I am working on things because
Gotcha.
it's real life and it's real feedback from, hey, I do this and this is what I get.
Mm-hmm.
Well, then if I can drill something all day long and then I try to implement it and the guy hits me every time, I'm like, well, I drilled 2 days on something that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, so I would tell you, I said, be consistent with your thought process,
Yep.
especially when you're playing even rec play. So
Mm-hmm.
when you go to play in a tournament, you're gonna have you. It's not like something you're like, oh, this is my rec play and this is my tournament play.
Yeah.
You play one way all the time and
Mm-hmm.
watch your level just constantly increase. And you may change the finishing shot that you hit. Like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes if I have a chance to hit you in rec play, I'm not going to hit you. I'll finish it somewhere. I'll go around you. I'll go over you, whatever. But
Yep.
the process to get there is always the same.
Yep.
Mhm.
Does that make sense? So the patterns that I use to get to certain places are always consistent.
Yep.
That's what I
That
would
makes
tell you.
sense. I'm
Yeah.
not drilling. I'm working on my rec games.
John said I don't need to
John
drill.
says I don't need to drill.
A little bit, maybe a little bit,
Yeah.
I think when you're learning something where you technically need to learn how to do it, that's when you really should drill it to get that down. And then you put it in a real life situation. And
Especially if something as easy as a speed up is an easy drillable attack. I mean, it's a
right.
drillable skill.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
just get out there and just get used to the repetition of hitting a shot the same way over and over. So
Yeah. So because we're keep on quizzing you about coaching, what is it that you see like the most common mistake that you see pickleball, let's say the newer players that come in that just gives you an immediate headache?
I think it's probably everyone just wants to rush.
Mm,
And no matter what you do, you have more time than you think. So I
mm,
think if you just take a second, think about what you want to hit, think about what the next ball is, you'll have a lot more time to react. But they don't. Everyone just wants to hit and run. And I watch people get hit all the time, and I'm like, uh,
Told you so.
right. But to say, hey, listen, find your way in, don't force your way in, is what I always tell
Yeah,
people.
that's a good. I like that.
Everyone wants to force themselves into the net.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you're gonna get hit.
Take your time.
Yeah.
Right. Right.
And it can
Slowly.
be fast. I mean, if you hit the right shot, you're gonna get in regardless, right?
Right.
You one shot you're in. It doesn't matter. But
Right.
yeah.
Right. So what's your proudest coaching moment? Do you have someone who you've coached and that did something? It doesn't even have to be a medal or anything, but just something that kind of tug at your heartstrings.
I love it. I used to have a guy who come down with me every week before the U.S. Open, and he would every year win the 80 and 80 some. First he won the 75-year-old singles, then he won the 80-year-old singles. Um, his name was Grady. He was from Alabama. He would always fly in, and I loved him. And he passed away a couple years ago, but still to my day, it was those are the moments that you love. Absolutely. I mean,
Yeah.
just to see as a coach to see the joy in somebody else's face when they get it.
Yeah.
We take it for granted. Like it's so easy sometimes, and oh, yeah, I do that. That's what I do. But to see somebody who puts the connection together, and whether it's a 2-5 or a 5-5, I don't care. Of just
Right.
seeing that instant joy when they finally get something that they actually had the thought process to put together. A plan comes together, if you will.
Right.
That's that's what you live for as a coach.
Yeah.
I my students are pretty funny. When I get mad at them, I throw a ball at them. I'm like, oh, what are you doing? I throw a ball at them. Like, are you kidding me? So tough love, of course. So
Yeah.
now it's kind of funny. Now someone's upset if they're like, their feelings are hurt if I don't throw a ball at them. Like,
He must be mad at me.
Yeah.
right.
He didn't pick me with the ball today.
Absolutely. So it's been kind of fun. Yeah.
Oh, that's good. All right.
Oh.
So we've got a couple of our fan questions. I just threw it out there to some of our fans and asked them, okay, what questions? We have John Sperling coming on. What do you want to know? And so are you ready?
Yep.
They're very nice, so don't have to worry. I'm going to read these off here though as we go. So, okay. So B from Arlington would like to know what your pregame routine is.
I don't warm up a lot. I
Mm-hmm.
should. I get a little bit of stretching in. I have my 2 cups of Dunkin Donuts in the morning.
Okay.
The furthest I've driven to get it is 42 miles because I have to have my
Is that
I
a
have to have
super
my dunk.
thing?
I have to have my Dunkin'. Yeah, it's a big thing. If I don't think I'm going someplace, I've shipped my Mr. Coffee with me, and I
Oh,
take my coffee. So
that's
it's kind of
brilliant.
crazy. Um, and then I kind of get to the venue, get set up, and I don't like the look of the draw a whole lot because that's as coming from the tennis world. My dad used to tell me you have to beat everyone to win the tournament anyway, so don't worry about the draw. So I try
Yeah.
not to overthink it too much,
Mhm.
and then get out there and get a good day of play. And I don't eat. I'm a horrible um, survivor of no food on a day. It get a little queasy. I was a hockey player, and so um, I'd have a bad stomach and I'd throw up before I'd get on a big game. So this would be something. So I never wanted that to be the case in pickleball. So
So B, what I think he's saying is like everything that you've been taught about what to do pregame, John does none of it. So
Yeah.
listen, it's got me a few medals over the years.
that's right. So we're all going to
Yeah,
try this new. We're all going to try it now.
correct. Two extra large Dunkin Donuts.
That's right.
Perfect.
Let's go to Priscilla. What does Priscilla
Let's
say?
see. Priscilla from Centerville asks gameplay versus drilling. How
Well,
often? Well,
I
we
guess
kind of already
we
answered
already
that.
covered
So
that.
we're
So
gonna.
let's go to Emer and
Well,
JoJo.
I would answer. I said, I think if you're going to do it and you're really gameplay versus drilling, I think it should be like a 3-to-2 ratio, 3-to-2 drilling to gameplay. If you're really in that mindset of getting better,
Yeah.
I think drilling does really help people.
Mhm.
Unfortunately, I don't have the time to do it. Otherwise, I would. So I think there's some very big benefits to doing it.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think you're right too. So Emer and JoJo from Arlington Iron Paddle, so Arlington, Virginia, they have similar questions. So I'm going to combine them. JoJo says there are new, young, and vibrant players now playing pickleball. These players include collegiate tennis athletes and members of the Philippine national tennis team. Their mindset is to create opportunities just like in tennis. I know some of the older folks, you and me, John, I think he's talking about, might say this approach is taboo. But what do you think? Is pickleball becoming a sport that's no longer just about dinking and dropping the ball? We touched on this.
Yes.
I would
You're
say
saying
100% is no
that.
longer. I think creating opportunities and capitalizing is kind of the way the game is going.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I think you can utilize your soft game to get something out of somebody, but bingo, no, it's becoming a lot faster, and I think that's what we're going to see as we move forward, unless something drastic changes, whether the paddles become back to what we
Yeah.
know them to
You
become,
do.
or the ball gets going to get softer.
Right.
And those are the things that are the only thing that's going to slow pickleball down is those two elements. But with COVID, after I would say pre-COVID, post-COVID pickleball is the influx of the tennis players, of the
Yep.
badminton, of the racquetball players. So you're having people who don't abide by our rules. You know, for so long we called them bangers, right?
Right. Right.
Because we gave them a negative name. Well, they don't do what we do. Well, maybe they had something. Maybe we weren't thinking outside the box. We were put in a box, and so
Mhm.
I've
Yeah.
embraced it as well. I don't use the term bangers anymore. I'm like, yeah, well, opportunist.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It doesn't have such a negative connotation as it did before, for sure.
Right.
I'll tell you what, I've just started playing against some badminton players. Oh my gosh.
Hands crazy
Oh yeah.
all
Crazy,
over. Yeah.
Yeah.
crazy. And I'm thinking, badminton is what I should have played. I should have paid attention during PE class. Damn
Yeah.
it. Ruined
You're
my
not
shot.
wrong. You're not wrong.
All right. You want to?
All right. Pickles Paul from AIP. He asked, "Do you do any wall pickleball work?"
I personally do not. I think it is good that it helps with your hands and your hand speed and your reflexes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I'm blessed enough to have enough people to train with, so I don't really have
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
But I think it's a great tool when you don't have somebody.
Right.
Yeah.
Um, Sometimes I'll go out and hit balls, but I don't use a wall. I just work on shots. So
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's go down to swing weight.
Um, Same person, Pickles Paul. Do you match your swing weight with your paddles?
I'm not sure I understand what that means.
Me either.
We were really
However,
would.
We were trying to look smart by reading that, putting that question like we knew what it was. Okay.
I do have my paddles weighing the same. So
Okay.
I am kind of known for having one of the heavier paddles on tour. My
Okay.
paddles register in at about 10.8.
Wow.
Yeah, they're
That's
heavy,
heavy.
heavy,
Oh yeah, my wrist would be like
Mine would be broken.
broken. Yeah, I'd be
very,
like,
very heavy. The
yeah.
young kids used to grab them and do little curls with them, like to work out with them. So it's kind of fun. They make fun of me. So
So, can you kind of tell us, for some of our listeners aren't really pickleball savvy, so can you tell us like what weight does for your paddle and why people tend to put it on the sides of their paddles, on the
yeah,
top,
absolutely.
bottom?
So you guys should have noticed when you came to the Open, you should have seen the wind, right?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
So for us living in Florida, we're used to it. So our paddles we usually weight ours up a little bit to stop a little bit of the wind influence. So if you see the people coming from the West Coast or from the South, they're taking all that lead tape and trying to help their balance of their paddle. Um, I always tell people I think you should go as heavy as you should, as heavy as you can handle. If 7-8 is as heavy as you can handle, go to 7-8. If it's 8-3, if it's 9, whatever that is, what it does, the pros are way more beneficial than the cons. I know people say swing weight, oh, it hurts my wrist, it hurts my, it doesn't. Those are mechanical issues that swing weight shows. Like if you
Ah,
have
point.
bad mechanics and you snap your wrist all the time and with a light paddle it doesn't hurt, but all of a sudden you add a little weight and when you snap your wrist, like, oh, my elbow hurts.
Tennis elbows.
Right, you're like, oh, the heavy paddle did it. Well, no, the light paddle never hurt you, but the heavy
Mm,
paddle. If that were the case, I would have tennis elbow all the time,
mm,
right? Because my paddles have always been this heavy, and
Mm-hmm.
I've never had tennis elbow. Not at least not from pickleball. I've had it from tennis, and
hmm
that's because I had bad mechanics when I was feeding balls teaching. Um, but I think what you'd realize is if you say, "Hey, Jordan, 882 is my number," right?
Mm-hmm.
And you can, and that's what's great about weights. You can take it on, you put it off, you can test it, but it's going to stabilize your paddle more, right? And give you better feel. Helps
Mm-hmm.
with your counters. It helps with your dinks. Helps all of that stuff. Less is more in that. So once you add a little bit of weight and you find out where you like it, I think
Mm-hmm.
putting it on the sides of the paddle are very good because it kind of opens up the sweet spot.
hmm
Sometimes these paddles now are made with very tiny sweet spots, and
Yeah.
so if you can benefit by opening up a little bit, you get a little bit more to it. But I think that's great about it is tinker around with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
it's a great thing about weight. You can take it off
Take it on
wherever
and
you
off
like
and
it.
move it
Yep,
around. And yeah, and
yep,
it's that. Yeah, that's so true.
yep.
So Robert Bixler from Arlington also asks, which courts in the villages are your favorite? And then,
Oh, good call, Robert.
yeah, he has a couple good ones you're going to like.
I like it. So Lake Miona is where I first started playing. Those are the people. The villagers took me into pickleball before I even knew what pickleball was,
Wow.
and they kind of brought us in and taught us how to play. And so even to this day, they're your biggest fans. They're the ones who, when you're playing, they're always there watching. They're always sending you messages. They're fantastic. So I would say Lake Miona.
Okay.
I would say Rohan are the two major courts where the higher level players play. So if
Uh-huh.
I was going to play, those are the two. Even Pimlico. Pimlico has its things. I'll give you three shout outs. So
It's like you're talking about your children here. Like, I can't pick a favorite. You're like, these
that's
three,
right.
I have
That's true.
three children and I
They're
can't
very,
do it.
they're very. Listen, in each one is its own dynamic. By the way,
Yeah. I'm going
you
to be
know.
hashtagging every single word that you've said on here. All of those different, I will make sure
You'll
you
be
get
in
all the
trouble.
credit here. Oh,
That's
yeah,
right.
that too, maybe. And then, okay, when you're at Pickles and Poker, do you prefer the Cuban sandwich or the buffalo wings?
Cuban sandwich for sure.
Really?
For
Oh,
sure,
I'm going to try that when
absolutely.
I
The buffalo wings are good. We make some good food, but yeah, definitely the Cuban.
Okay. And then Robert's
Yeah.
last question is, do you ever play poker between your pickleball matches?
Not between my matches, but I have
Between your
been I
lessons,
w-
you're signing over there and
I have been known to play a little poker. I played in the World Series of Poker twice, so
nice.
I am yeah,
Wow.
I was a bit of a poker player back in the day.
Oh, you
Back
and
before
Sean. Is that how you
what's
knew
that?
Sean? Sean Gundrum? Is that how you guys
No,
started
no,
chatting?
but no, but that's
Big.
we
He was a
just I'm sure wrestling is how
oh, yeah.
we kind
Yeah.
of
You
had
guys
that
have a lot in
bond.
common.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
absolutely.
You're just the younger Sean.
That's right. We'll go with that. I'm going to go with that too.
Yeah,
Don't tell him that. Shh,
I'm
Sean,
gonna
he
make
didn't hear that.
use that. All
Absolutely.
right. Okay. And then,
So
yeah, go
we're
ahead.
gonna do a quick rapid fire would you rather kind of thing, and then we're gonna wrap it up for
I
you.
love it. I love it. All right. Rapid fire. Shoot
The
away.
first thing before, okay, first one is, who would if you could Nasty Nelson one pro player, who would it be?
Oh, Dane Gingrich.
Good, good. I'm so glad you had a quick one. That was good. Okay, and
Okay.
why? Is there a reason why?
No, it just Dane is it's funny to hit. I love Dane. I just think he gets more offended when you hit him more than anyone else. So
Okay, good. That's a good
Perfect.
that's
reason.
all. That's all.
Okay. Pick one pro you would want by your side
Okay, yeah,
during
we
a
got.
zombie apocalypse.
All right, yeah. This
Oh,
is the
during the
this
zombie apocalypse.
in
Oh
here.
God.
Yeah, during the zombie
Ooh,
apocalypse, who would you want to be by your side?
I'm gonna take Mills Miller, Chris Miller out of Seattle.
Okay, is he a NPL player?
He is an NBL player. He plays for the Seattle Wave Tsunami. What are they called this year? I forget the name. Yeah,
All right.
yeah. He
And
seems
why?
like he would find his way through any kind of weird situation.
Perfect.
Okay, good.
Perfect.
We had somebody in the last one say, oh my gosh, I can't remember who it was now. Oh no, I forgot who he said, but he said because he's tall and he's ugly, so he'd blend right in. Now I can't remember which pro player he was talking about.
It's probably better.
Actually, it was John. Wasn't it John? No, I'm just kidding.
I'm not that tall. I'm not that tall.
Yeah. Okay, that really takes you out. Okay, go ahead.
Would you rather have to play with the tiny training paddle for the rest of your life, or every match with Ben Johns as your partner?
I mean, listen, I'll take Ben Johns all day long. Are you kidding me?
Yeah, right.
He's amazing. He's amazing, and I'm going to make him look so good.
Yeah, there you go.
You stay in your corner, and you will. You stay over there.
Right.
All right, which would you choose? Last question. Only playing singles pickleball for the rest of your life, or you have to go back to tennis for the rest of your life?
Oh man, only playing singles pickleball.
Oh, you would choose that?
Yes,
And I know you don't love it.
I do not love it, but tennis
Yeah.
is so rough on
You
the
love it
body
less.
now. I look at a court now, I'm like, no, I don't want
Yeah.
anything to do with it.
Yeah,
So I would do singles, and I would beat up Paul Olin and Matthias and all those guys for the rest of
Okay, those are fighting words right there. Like to
Absolutely.
see that happen. All right. So you have what's still on your bucket list? What do you got like in the next? What's your 5-year, 10-year plan here? Pickleball.
Listen, just I am just blessed every single day that I get to play pickleball for a living. I have no major bucket lists. I've been I'm going to go to Greece next year and do some teaching, which will be fantastic.
Oh, awesome.
We went to Australia, and so every day that we get to play, get another day of pickleball
Yeah.
is absolutely a blessing. So I don't have anything major. Um, I'm hoping that um, the game is still as prosperous it is for everybody, and you know the influx of money kind of changes people, and I'm hoping that it just kind of you know settles down and everyone still does well. But
Yeah.
I have nothing major. I hope it's the same. I
Yeah.
really do. I hope it's the same. I love it. I love being able to work with people. I love being able to come on a podcast
Oh, well,
and do fun things.
and thank you, by the way. This is really like you took a chance with us. I was just like, when you said yes, and then when Lee said yes, and then Rob said yes, I'm like, have these people even watched us yet? I mean,
I have not, but we know each other, so of course I'm going to do anything.
I know. That's why I had to name drop you. I'm like, John said he was
I'm
coming.
good with
Hey.
that. I'm good with that.
Yeah, but no, we really appreciate you coming on. I mean, I've already have learned so many tips and tricks from you, and I just want to go play now. Maybe after this podcast, I'll go put on my shoes and play because, yeah, you have a lot of good information that I can take to the court. And I am coming down to Florida. I will be there. I will be in the villages with your guest pass, and I will be on the
Perfect.
court.
I got to ask you guys. Let me flip the role on you guys. How
Yeah.
did you get into the podcast? This is cool.
Take it away, Mom.
Okay, we need to have our stories straight here.
Yeah.
No, go ahead. Elevator pitch, Jordan.
I don't know if I can do it properly, but we were just talking one day, and our lives are very complex. We've gone through a lot of hardships in life, and so from a mother-daughter standpoint, we kind of wanted people to see like life isn't all rainbows and butterflies, and there are a lot of things going on in people's lives that they don't understand. Like, she got diagnosed with MS, and my father passed away in an accident, and so we were just kind of talking about life struggles and hoping that people can relate to our stories and feel comfortable. And we've had so many people reach out and like, thank you so much, like I'm going through something similar. So that was we kind of wanted to inspire people to open up, and they're not alone in this world. So yeah.
Well, as you speak of that, I was recently diagnosed with an autoimmune. I just got diagnosed with RA.
My sister has RA.
Yeah,
We'll have
and
a
so
conversation.
I'm in the process of learning a new normal.
Yeah.
So
Okay. So, gosh, I wish I would have known this prior. I didn't know that. I should have asked.
no, it's all right. It's all very new.
Yeah.
But so how is that? Have you changed your training?
Everything.
Like how?
Everything. I mean, for a couple
Your
weeks, I even did the teaching. My students are so amazing. For a couple weeks, I couldn't I couldn't grab a paddle because my hands
Yeah.
hurt so bad. So I said, hey, if you come with 4, I can still coach you. And
Mhm.
so everyone says, perfect. We just came with 4, and it became the new normal. I'm on my fifth. This is my 6th week of my medicine, and so my inflammation markers went down last time we had the blood work, so that's a positive.
Good.
Mhm.
But
Yes.
so, but you're right. It's all new normals,
Yep.
and you just again being blessed to be able to hit a ball. Even I woke up one day and I couldn't. It hurt so bad.
Yeah. The
So
pain RA has a lot of, that is
oof,
very uncomfortable. And if you watch any of the other episodes, you can kind of see like what my journey's been with MS. And I mean, I
yeah.
just barely
I keep
touched.
up with you on Facebook. I know what it's about. I
Yeah,
know.
yeah, you've seen that, you've commented on a lot of things. So I really appreciate that. It's always nice, and I do put a lot out there as far as that's concerned. And we talked because I want people to know they're not alone. And I have side conversations with a lot of people who are going through similar things. They don't want theirs public, but it's good for them to have someone to talk to. And
Well, this is the first time I've shared it publicly. So I'm sharing it with you guys.
thank you.
Yeah, it's a process.
It is.
You're learning a whole new normal.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
know, it could happen to anybody, and as an autoimmune, they're not easy. They're not.
No.
It's your life changes from that moment on, and
Mhm.
Mhm.
you figure out what's the most important things. It's
Yeah,
oh, I
Mhm.
yeah.
don't have to
And
do this.
you're very competitive like I am. And we have to listen to our body sometimes. And for me, I'm always thinking like, no, I'm going to beat my body. No,
Yeah,
actually you're not. You're not going to beat it. I just got to like, this is part of you now. You got to accept it and
Mhm.
just know when you need to just take a second or.
yeah. The day after I take my medicine, it's usually pretty rough. Um,
Mhm.
and I was doing a camp, and so I wasn't my same normal self. And they're like, "Is
So
John
involved.
okay?" And I said, "Hey, I just need. I'm still good on the court, but the after stuff, I, I need to sleep.
Yeah.
You poison your body, so you just got to get used to it." But
Yeah.
everyone was great, and you just again you're learning a new way to get by. But again, you're right. Your typical is I'll fight through it. I'll do this.
Yeah.
But the reality of it is your body's gonna say no.
Yeah. You have to
So
kind of accept that and just respect it. And then,
yeah,
but still, we're also not going to roll over though.
no, definitely not.
It's just like
Definitely not.
finding that balance between, rolling over and, running yourself into the ground.
Yeah.
Can't have both.
I'm still, it's 3 years after my diagnosis. I'm still trying to figure that, like I discussed last time, trying to figure out where that line is.
Yeah,
And I
yeah,
tell Jordan when I lose eyesight, my left eye will sometimes, if I've overdone it like really hardcore, then I start to not be able to see out of my left eye a little bit. And I told Jordan, that's when I know I maybe a little
Yeah.
too far.
maybe a little too much.
We're on
Maybe.
the court. She's like, I can't feel my arm or my leg. And I'm like, oh, let's take a timeout. She's like, no, keep going. I'm like, okay, no problem. I'm not going to
Yeah,
tell you what not to do. But
yeah, yeah,
I mean, I still have strength in it. I just can't feel it. So
yeah.
it's kind of like, it's like this pen is just like flopping around. And she's
that
like,
is
why are you
crazy.
walking so weird?
But
So
yeah,
you got to find humor in it when you can. But I know
Yeah.
when you're
100%,
too, it's really,
100%.
really difficult and really hard. Um,
Yeah.
but thank you for sharing that
Yeah.
with
Thank you
us.
so much.
That was
No worries.
That's kind of what our podcast is too. It's like we love to hear people's stories, and when you look at someone and you don't realize what they're going through. And so I think this is like a prime example of like, you're this amazing pro player,
well
amazing
known.
instructor, well known, and you're fighting your own battles too, and you still keep such a positive,
Yeah.
attitude with everything. So we appreciate that so much.
Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys having me.
Yeah. Do you any shout outs, any sponsors, family, mentors, anyone that you want to send some love
I
to?
mean, I gotta go with Komodo. Come on, Komodo pickleball.
Okay, yeah,
Um, Listen, I was a Selkirk pro my whole life, and
I
I
know.
went to Komodo. One because I think I like the ethics, the morals behind the owner. His name is Dave Milo. He's out of Colorado. Nice guy. Um, he came up with a biodegradable ball. I'll send you guys a couple.
Oh,
That'd be
please.
awesome.
The first USA pickleball approved biodegradable ball. So it
Wow.
will reduce the carbon footprint. It helps a little bit, and it plays just like a normal ball. It's got a great color. I'm gonna get one for you to see.
Yeah,
Please do.
yeah.
Here it is.
Oh, look at that. I
Oh,
can see that. I can
It's the
see it.
bio. Yes, it's the
Wow.
bio ball. I would say it plays in between a Dura and a Franklin.
Okay.
Never goes out of round. So
Which I like that because I kind of feel like that's where the sweet spot is
Yeah.
between the Franklin and the Dura. And
yeah.
especially down south, like where you guys are, those Franklins get so soft.
yeah.
Oh yeah. And
Yeah.
so these have been good. We actually play tested it 8 weeks. It took us to break one ball.
Really?
So we rotated 3 balls with some pros, and we did it for 8 weeks and played every weekend. We played for 2 days, and it took us 8 weeks to break a ball. So it's got
That's incredible.
playability, it's got color, and it stays round. So I mean,
Yeah.
what more? And it's good for the environment. So
There you go. Well,
Komodo's a huge one. Give a big shout out to Komodo.
thank you for doing
Um,
that. We're going to have to reach out to you. We're always looking for sponsors,
We
and
are.
our sponsors don't have to give us much. I mean,
No, I mean, we actually reach out to
we
them.
like-
We're like,
we
we'll
actually
talk
pay
about
them.
you.
yeah.
Don't give us.
Yeah, absolutely. All of that stuff.
Yeah.
Hexacore grips, of course, are great.
Okay.
Best grips. And
Good.
Jigsaw. That's the things I work.
Perfect.
Awesome. Well, they are all great companies. So thank you for sharing that too. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Anything from you, John?
That was.
No, just thank you guys for having me. It's been a blast.
Yeah, thank
it's
you
been
so
awesome.
much. Thank you, everyone, for listening to this amazing episode with John Sperling. We are so sad we have to go, but please like, follow, subscribe down below. And thank you again, John, so much for coming on this podcast and telling us all the tips and tricks and your story behind everything to make you so successful.
Thanks,
Guys.
guys.
I
I
really
appreciate it.
appreciate it.
Thank
All right,
you.
everybody. Don't forget to, like Jordan said, like, subscribe, and share. Peace.
Thanks.
Bye. Love you.